Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And I'm a little late this morning for a couple reasons. One was a contact issue. I finally took it out. I'm not sure if I had it in backwards or what. And then I'm using a new streaming platform, and it just kept running me through different things that I needed to do in order to have it work. And so, how was your weekend? Mine was interesting. It was a very mild temperature here, which is a lovely change, but quite heart wrenching because the fires are just raging in the mountains, and that for me is always heartbreaking. And some other things came up. It was an interesting one all the way around. We are having coffee. I can't even remember if I said it. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Don't think I've said that yet. And so, how are you this morning? How was your weekend? What's been going on? Um, I've had a dilemma I was thinking about, and what it finally boiled down to for me was, is this ego based? And it really was ego based. And it was how I was going to say something. I have my Braveheart mug because Bravehearts are often what we need to have. And honestly, to venture forth for this thing that I've been considering, um, it is a Braveheart thing I need to do. And the truth is, if we ever have question about an action, if we're vacillating and wondering, and the it's probably what we don't want to do that needs to be done. If it wasn't for the question, we wouldn't have any doubt about how to proceed. And so the first card that came up was the scribe in reverse, the scribe of air. Just this beautiful card, which all of these cards are from Dreams of Gaia Tarot. The scribe of air. And this came up in reverse, and it is about holding to your chest and kind of holding things in, not sharing everything with everyone. And it really went for me because I wasn't thinking about the situation that I was vacillating on. And the truth is, this card, now that I'm thinking about it, when I read through it, because at the beginning I didn't understand what this was about, why this would be coming up today. And this has nothing to do with writing things down, but it has to do with communication. And it didn't come up in reverse, but as I read through it, it was like, oh, it's the reverse meaning. Nope, it's not. And it has to do with you speaking your truth, writing it down, being authentic in what you have to say, and being courageous. Again, brave heart, because the truth is often what we need to say, what is the message we want to bring through, how we want to work in the world. I'm sorry, I'm new to this platform, and let me see here. This is Restream. And oh, it is. Oh, yay. I do see you, Julia. Thank you. Click on a chat message to display it on the screen. Okay. So I am so sorry. This is disjointed. Kind of how I am this morning. The dog K9 telephone line was very active throughout the night, and the dogs were barking all over the neighborhood. And then at one point, my dog and our oldest grand dog went downstairs to add into it, to bark outside at, I assume there were deer in our pasture because that happens quite a bit. So I'm a little frazzled, didn't get a lot of sleep. So be aware of what it is you need to say. And if it is something that you're trying to not say and you keep holding, pulling back on it, and it keeps presenting as the option as to what you should do, you probably and should is your opinion in this. It is what is going to bring you the greatest peace. And so this, I'll share with you. I have had a retreat coming up in September, and the numbers didn't come in. And so I let the reservation go. You know, it still could happen because if the numbers came in, the reservation hasn't been taken at the Airbnb. And what I was going to say, because I already do have one scheduled for November, and what I was going to say was, there are no more spaces left in the September retreat, which is the truth, but is misleading. And the ego didn't want me to admit that I didn't get enough to hold this retreat. And so, you know, I'd been wrestling with that. It really wasn't technically untrue that there were no spaces left in the September retreat, because there aren't any spaces left because I've given up the Airbnb, and I really am not going to market it anymore. And so this was very much a battle of ego versus truth. And the ego never set well. I kept questioning, would this be okay? Because technically it's true. Would this be okay? If you're in a situation like that and in any kind of battle like that, the truth is what you don't want to do is probably the thing you want to do, because there would be no battle if it was exactly what you were supposed to do. So I don't know what the other cards are. I haven't haven't put that up. Sorry, when I messed with the contact, then the sinuses started running. So the next the next card that came up was Broken Heart in reverse. And you know, it seems a little drastic to say when we don't honor ourselves, it's a heartbreaking thing. But the truth is, when we are in resonance with ourselves and when we are living authentically and truthfully in our life, it is ease, it is joy. Everything is smooth within us. That doesn't mean the choices are easy or they don't produce a little bit of, okay, well, I don't really want people to know this. You know, I didn't want people to know that the retreat didn't fill. Again, totally an ego-based thing. It does injure our integrity. Remember, and if you've watched me for any length of time, you've probably heard me say, you know, when you live in integrity, the little white lies absolutely throw you out of balance. And that's really what that would have been, was a little white lie. Really wouldn't have hurt anybody but me. When you live into integrity, the broken heart is no longer a factor. You don't injure yourself. You honor the truth that is absolutely okay for you to be in. It is absolutely okay that my truth was the retreat didn't fill. Here's the real truth. I had not one attendee. Now, lots of reasons. One person has told me that it's too long at 7 days. And so I thought, okay, let's try November's retreat as a total of 5 days. But it only really gives us 3 full days in the middle because we can't check in till 3 and we have to check out at 11. And so it's like, okay, we will try that. I know that people will get a huge amount of growth, understanding, empowerment, and enlightenment about who they are, but it's not exactly how I wanted to do it. But you know what? If that's what people need, if they need a shorter time, I'm willing to do that. And so, this totally living in integrity within yourself is such a very important way to walk in the world, because there's enough working against us in the world for us to constantly be bombarded with. We do not need more coming from inside. We want to keep as much balance and peace and alignment inside of us as we can, because there is so much of the other outside of us. The sun also came up in reverse, and that to me is never a lovely card because the sun is a very high vibe, very much a very bright card. And this is like a portent, a portention of less than sunny things coming. And that is the truth in the world. There is, as we enter September in a new moon, and I only really follow the full moon and the new moon. The rest of it is lovely, but it's just not my path to learn about, know about, and let it influence me in my daily path. Those two big energies I want to honor because one is releasing and one is the added power of creation. And as we are moving into September, we've got some very rocky energy coming in about the time of the new moon with planetary alignments and all of that. And so we want to be in as much balance as we can inside ourselves because we're going to have a lot working on the outside in the world that is going to threaten our peace, our alignment, our balance, our ease. And so it is imperative that we honor the truth of whatever is going on in our life. And that doesn't mean that we dump on everybody, everything that's going on with us and all the things in our past that have happened that, adversely affect us in some way. And so know that, speak your truth, live in your integrity. And if you are at a battle about that inside, the integrity is where you want to go because that's the only thing that's going to bring you balance. And then the next card that came up was Garden and Gate, and the gate. And you see that little young girl looking out at the very bright horizon also came up in reverse. And this is, the thing, it regardless of what world, opportunity abounds. And yet we're holding ourselves back. We're standing back and we're not allowing ourselves to go out and experience it. And from the previous cards, what it is saying is it is inside us that is in turmoil, is out of balance, is not allowing us the peace that we would like to have. Good morning, Jean. And so it is all about you, as I've said before. It is all about us and how we choose to move forward in the world and in life and in ourselves. Living in the highest integrity we are able to bring forward gives us the greatest amount of peace we can live in. And it is imperative that we hold ourselves in peace on a more regular basis because the world is going to be very much not at peace over the next few months. We are the energy sharers, the intentional energy sharers. Whatever energy we are in is what we are sharing and propagating more of in the world. So if we're even in the slightest amount of deceit, like the little white lies, we are out of balance. And that's the kind of energy we're sharing. Remember, I've said truly the only thing we really need to do in our paths walk is be in the highest vibration we can be in. And when we are not in integrity, we can't be in the highest vibration possible. Attending to our own vibration is what we want to do regularly. And so, on a regular basis, you can't keep doing the white lies for somebody else's benefit or for your benefit because that keeps us out of balance. And it is very much a lovely way to walk in the world in greater balance. I have struggled over these last few weeks internally with an old message, an old way of living, an old thing. But as it's coming up, uh, as it's been coming up, I haven't been thrown into the panic that it used to give me or the upheaval, but it's been a blip on the radar because I have really battled inside myself about this. I love the fact that it doesn't throw me into the whirlwind of panic it used to, but it is still something that comes up, as much of our shadows do. And they come up for us, for our highest and best good. And so that is something you again want to look at. What did this come up for in my life? It didn't happen to you. You can whine about it all you want. You can fall into victim all you want, and you can rain that crap on everybody around you. And pretty soon there's nobody around you to rain it on, because they're done, because they have their own stuff to live with. It is up to you to work this to your highest and best, um, and allow your truth to settle within you, always for your highest and best good, and living that what is here for me. You stand in your power. You're not under the circumstances, and you're not afraid of everything that's coming at you from the shadows. You use them to grow. You use them to become more of what you intended to be here, and less of what you don't want to be like. And so it really is truly, we live in a constant state of remodel. That is what the human existence is. It it is a choice to learn, or it is a choice to sit and spin and be a victim of life. I don't work with victims, because victims want everybody else to feel sorry for them. They may well have stuff that is sorrow bringing, but it is also them not willing to do their own work. And i can't I can't play with that in my life. So that's not what I do with people. I help them find their power, live in their power, and exercise power in their life, and learn from all the old circumstances and history of what has been, and to learn from our ancestral energies that we brought in. So living an empowered life means owning all aspects and choosing to grow from it. Does it mean it's easy? No. Is it comfortable? Oftentimes not. But it is you exercising your power and willingness to live in that power that is absolutely the way to move forward, to be in your highest vibration possible. Do the daily energy routine, do the gratitude work, do the pure love and joy exercise for 30 seconds. All of those raise your vibration and keep you in greater internal alignment, so that when you consider an out of alignment opportunity, you hear this ding, 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 ding in your mind. And you know immediately, it's like, oh, yeah, I do know the answer to this, even though I may not want to live in that space right now. I I choose to live in the highest vibration possible, in as much peace within inside me as I can cultivate. Truth is, no one else can cultivate inner peace for you. They can be a catalyst for it, like waking up this morning. The first message I saw, and I posted it earlier on my page, was everything begins and ends in your mind. I can make it as hard as I want, and I can make it as easy as I want, as I choose, as my mind exercises it. I'm the only one that actually controls my mind, as are you. No one else made you mad. You chose to go there. It all begins in your mind. No one else makes you feel like a failure. You chose to go there. No one else makes you feel powerless. That is a choice you made. And believe me, I know, because I have been in that choice. Julia says, interesting, you looked off today. When you hold up the cards, which showed up in reverse, they are backwards. Your camera is mirroring everything, including you. Oh, weird. Interesting. This is the first time I've used Restream, and I don't exactly know why. I appreciate that feedback. Don't know how to change the camera thing. or the cards at this point, but I'm sure I will find out. Um, so I thank you for joining me in the backwards, if indeed it is for you. Am I still backwards? Please let me know if I am still backwards or if I showed it backwards for you. The really cool thing about Restream is on the side, the readout, I can see where you're talking to me from, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube. And on the other one, I could not. Yeah, I'm not sure how to reverse the camera, but I will find out. Please do type in if I am showing up in reverse for you, and then I will have an idea of what to do here. So much to learn, and digital world is one that I am still learning vocabulary and tools with, and will constantly be, and the one I absolutely have resisted. Uh, but always learning, always growing, always allowing my highest and best. Everything is always for my highest and best good. And that is absolutely a mantra I live by. And learning everything I can about things is really how I choose to move through the world, except digital. Glad I pointed that out. I choose to kind of put blinders on, and I don't have to learn everything, but there are definitely things I need to learn. So if indeed you see me in reverse, please let me know. I will be working with Restream to see how to change all of this. Thank you so much for joining me on this somewhat disjointed, harried Monday. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Until we meet again.